Hey, how's it going everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula, and welcome to another Pokemon Go discussion video. So, today I wanted to talk about whether or not the Go Battle League is the best form of endgame content for Pokemon Go, or if the game is better suited for non-PvP content. I'm going to be bringing up a couple of arguments for both sides, but in general, I do tend to sway a certain way, and I'll be giving the reasons why in this video, so let's roll the intro and jump right into it. Alright, so when it comes to Pokemon Go, there is a large subset of players who are very focused on the Go Battle League and progressing in PvP. But there is another group of players who focus mainly on non-PvP content like raiding and the collection aspect of Pokemon Go. So the purpose of this video is to figure out which side of Pokemon Go is better. Is it worth it to spend all of your time and resources into progressing in the Go Battle League, or is the game more about the collection and raiding aspect? Well, first of all, we have to talk about what Niantic has been focusing on over the past couple of years when it comes to this game. I want to say for the last couple of months, we've seen a lot of content for Pokemon Go's Go Battle League. Not only did they add a whole bunch of different variety cups, but the meta has shifted so drastically from how it was in the earlier seasons, and the reason for that is of course because Niantic has continuously introduced new and better Pokemon for the Go Battle League, especially when it comes to Community Day Pokemon. Speaking of which, I think Community Days are a good indicator for where Niantic is focusing all of their energy on. When it comes to the last several Community Days, you would know that most of those exclusive moves were catered towards the Go Battle League. It's been a long while since we've had a Community Day move that's more catered towards raiding. I think it goes without question that Niantic is putting a lot of their chips into the PvP content of Pokemon Go, and it's for good reason. If you think about it, the longevity of Pokemon Go is going to be very heavily tied to the success of the Go Battle League. It is the endless form of content for Pokemon Go, whereas when it comes to raiding and the collection aspect, eventually you will hit different walls. I mean, there's only so much Pokemon that you can catch, and no matter how slowly Niantic trickles down the release of Pokemon, eventually people will complete their entire Pokedex. And if you're someone who is looking to collect Shundos and Hundos, those are extremely rare. So realistically, you will not be able to catch a whole bunch of them unless you dedicate a whole bunch of money to raids and different things like that. But of course, when it comes to PvP, there's always going to be new metas every time they introduce a brand new Pokemon, and you can make older Pokemon more relevant by giving them different moves, and this is an endless stream of new content that Niantic can introduce for very little effort. So, all in all, it makes sense why Niantic is focusing so much on the Go Battle League. It is the competitive aspect of this game, and it allows players to use their Pokemon that they've collected over the years in a very meaningful way. But the Go Battle League is not universally loved by the Pokemon Go community. Yes, there is a dedicated group of players who are focused primarily on the Go Battle League, but there's also a huge number of players who do not even care about the Go Battle League and they just straight out ignore it. So, if the longevity of this game is tied so heavily to PvP, why is there so many players who do not care about it? Well, I think the important question that we need to ask is whether or not the Go Battle League is fun in the first place, because what's always going to be most important about a game is the fun factor of that game. If the game is not fun, then why are players even going to bother playing it? The whole reason why Pokemon Go is so successful is because it is actually a pretty fun game. However, when it comes to the Go Battle League, I would argue and say that it is actually an acquired taste. Not everyone is going to enjoy the gameplay of the Go Battle League. The system is very unforgiving for players who do not have the right Pokemon, and in general, it is extremely competitive. Even though Pokemon Go's PvP system is pretty simple at its core, it's also very complex and requires certain amounts of skill. There is also a mind game aspect to it. The most veteran PvP players will tell you that there is an element of psyching out your opponents by baiting out shields and different things like that. So this is not something that everyone is going to gravitate towards because not everyone is looking for this kind of gameplay. I think Niantic needs to take a step back and fully comprehend why people are not choosing to play in the Go Battle League, whether it be the accessibility of certain Pokemon, or in general, it is such an unforgiving system, and they need to go back to the drawing board and rework some of the core systems. It's gotten pretty ridiculous that if you have certain meta Pokemon, you're always going to be really successful, but the problem is most of those meta Pokemon are not readily available to any player. Most of them are tied to specific events, like for example with Trevenant, you really only have certain times of the year that you can get this Pokemon. And even if you do get this Pokemon, there's no guarantee that you will get the ideal IVs for the Go Battle League. There's a lot of complexities like this tied to the Go Battle League, and something like that is going to scare away the casual player. Now, on the flip side, there is raiding, and I really think that raiding is a great alternative to Pokemon Go's PvP system. It's a great way for players to use their Pokemon in a meaningful way, just like in the Go Battle League, but at the same time, there's not a lot of the different pressures that you would face when it comes to the Go Battle League. Depending on how active and how hardcore your community is, you really do not have to worry about having the absolute best raid counters when you jump into a raid. If you have a raid group of about 15 people, for example, you're almost guaranteed to complete that raid. So there really is no pressure to be perfect as a raider. You just have to make sure you're in a very good community, and if you're not, you can access better communities through remote raid passes and with Discord servers. So, in my opinion, I really think Niantic needs to dedicate more resources into improving raiding. I mean, I'm not saying that they should completely neglect the Go Battle League, but they should find the right balance so that players can choose whether or not they want to focus on the Go Battle League or if they want to focus on raiding. At the core of both of these gameplay modes, there is the collection aspect. If you want to hit Legend rank in the Go Battle League, you will need a very good collection of PvP Pokemon, but if you want to be a great raider who will contribute to defeating different bosses, you will need a good collection of raid DPS Pokemon. So Niantic has two forms of endgame content on their hands. But it's like I said, there really hasn't been a good balance between either of these game modes. It just seems like Niantic has neglected raiding for a long time, especially when it comes to Community Day exclusive moves, and I really think this is what needs to change. I've made this suggestion before, but I really think Niantic should add some sort of competitive element to raiding. They've already added some elements that they could build on, like for example those raid achievement badges that you can get at the end of every raid battle. I really feel like they should do something with them. Much like with the Go Battle League, I would like to see some sort of ranking system with raiding, and they would be tied to these badges that you would get at the end of the raid battle. You could also have this be seasonal, much like the Go Battle League. Like, you could have the rankings for every season be determined by how much damage you've dealt over a certain number of raids, or how fast you've cleared a certain amount of raids, and then of course how many of those badges you've collected every single raid. And then depending on your ranking, you would get special rewards that are going to be somewhat exclusive. Something like this would be phenomenal for Pokemon Go's raiding scene. And then of course, to keep it fair so that it's not pay to win, you would only have a certain number of raids that would count towards this ranking every day. So keep it kind of simple and make it very similar to the Go Battle League, and I do think a lot of players will latch onto it. And then for goodness sake, have a bunch of community days where the Pokemon have exclusive moves that are actually viable for raids as opposed to just the Go Battle League. So yeah, is PvP better than raiding? Is it a bad idea that Niantic is focusing so heavily on raiding and neglecting the other game modes of Pokemon Go? I think yes. I really think that Niantic needs to find the right balance because PvP is an acquired taste. Not everyone is going to enjoy PvP, but for the players who do enjoy PvP, they really do enjoy it, and that's something that Niantic should continue to enforce. But when it comes to raiding, they need to stop neglecting it and they need to recognize it as another form of endgame content. It's not just a method for players to get legendaries and certain Pokemon. I really think there's a lot of potential for Niantic to do something really cool for Pokemon Go players, and I really hope they tap into that potential because it's definitely there. Now, you're probably wondering at this point what I believe is the better form of gameplay with Pokemon Go. Well, I actually do not have a direct opinion, but I will say that I prefer raiding over PvP. This is predicated in the fact that I really do not have a full comprehension of how to be a good PvP player, but at the same time, every time I have gone into the Go Battle League, I usually get very frustrated because of the lag issues, and just in general, I just do not connect with the gameplay. I mentioned this countless times in this video, but I do think that the Go Battle League is an acquired taste. I do not think it's something that everyone is going to enjoy. I would be hard pressed to say that it is better forms of gameplay than raiding. Now, before I end this video, I have to recognize that PvP is not in a good place. There is a lot of lag issues and there's a lot of bugs that Niantic needs to fix, and of course, when it comes to the Go Battle League, they do need to improve on the gameplay system. So I understand that some players will argue that Niantic should not focus on raiding until they get PvP in a polished state, but I still think that they should try to get that balance that I've been talking about, because both PvP and raiding is great forms of endgame content, and it's something that Niantic should build upon. But I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you someone who is actively enjoying PvP, and what do you think about this topic of discussion? And if you are someone who does not like PvP, then definitely share why down below. And in general, non-PvP content. Definitely share all of that down below. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell so you stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support this channel in any way, then do check out the links in the description below. And yeah, that's going to be it. I am Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.